Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a detention pond area given your particular site. So I'm going to use this as my example. I am in my site view and you're probably going to have a building or some kind, maybe not, but we're going to go over here into annotate and then into region. So it's important that you know what the total area is of your property. So if you haven't done that, you can simply just click the outside of the property line. I can see mine is 60,000 square feet. So we're going to need to create, if we do rule of thumb of 10%, I need to create a region that is 10% of that. So if I want to do the idea of either a detention pond like in this corner, you could sort of create a little rectangle like this. That's my region. And then if I take a look at it, it tells me it's 5,200. Now, if it doesn't give it to you exactly, you can hit the escape key and then you can click back on it. And if you click the wrong thing, you can hit escape and you can click back on it. There we go, 5,200. So if I want to change the size of that, there we go. Now we're at 6,000. So you can play around with that size. If I want it, so that's one way you can do it, just as like a rectangular type region. You can adjust the regions. You want to make sure it's on the downhill side. If I wanted to make a ditch, then I might do something like this. I'm going to click the line tool, and maybe at the edge of the property, between the property and the road, that's where I might want my slope to start. So I'm going to do a line, then I'm going to do sort of the same thing between the property line and the road, and I'm gonna go up here really far because I'm guessing if I make a ditch that's only, let's say it's 9.6. I'm just kind of guessing a number here, and I bring it back down. Try to keep that line parallel, something like this, and then hit the green check. I can see I have an area of 4,400 square feet. So with this ditch, you can see the ditch needs to be quite a bit longer. Well, if I just drag this little one out a little bit to the left, now we're over 5,000. Bring this up. I have this diagonal area, so if I go too far, I'm going to get a little error. It says you can't do that. So let me pull this diagonal area out a little first, and then maybe I can pull this up. Now I'm getting a little closer. I got 6,100, so that's pretty close. I got 6,000 square feet. Once you have your region, then we are set. So at this point, now we need to go into, I'm going to click outside of here, and I'm going to choose my topo solid. So now I'm going to need to draw the topography lines inside that region. So this would be the same thing if you had a rectangular, circular region or a pond or something. We first need to click the topo solid and edit the type, and we need to edit the thickness, and I'm going to make this 6 feet thick. So that way I can dig down a ditch that's going to be 4 feet inside that. So we now have that as 6 feet thick. So now I'm going to modify my sub-elements, and I'm going to add some points to this. I need to make sure it's selected to absolute, and I'm going to set my elevation at the same height that my elevation is for the edge of the property. So that edge of the property is 0 feet. So I'm going to add some points that are 0 feet that match the edge of this boundary of this region here. So I'm going to click along the edge of this in a lot of different spots. And I want to try to stay near this as best I can. So I just completed the entire loop. So you didn't have to watch me click all those. You can see I got a couple stragglers in here. So if I click modify and I go to my topo solid, then I can, move some of these points a little bit if I got a couple stragglers in here that didn't really go where I wanted them to. It's okay if they're not exactly perfect. You can see that I have some kind of all over the place here. So there we go. I like that. Now I need to create the ditch. So now we're going to go add point and make sure you set this to -4 feet and hit the enter key. And there we go. And I want that to be down inside this. So when I click this, you're going to see some lines start to appear. And I'm just going to rapid fire click, and I'm going to try to do the best I can to stay in the middle of this little ditch here. So I've just finished clicking all those, and I should have a topography now. So I can get rid of my region. So I'm going to select my region. Make sure it says region over here. I'm going to hit the delete key. And now I have my topography. It's a little bit wonky, and I'm going to show you how you can clean some of this stuff up in our view. But you can see that looks actually pretty nice. If I select this and I go into modify sub-elements in 3D view even, and I go into the top view, you can see that there are a couple, like this one right here got a little bit off. So if I just click and drag that, you can center some of these that are not quite where you want them. I would not go overboard with this. It's going to look probably pretty nice no matter what you do here, but I'm going to try to center some of these -4s. And now after I've done that, just to show you the difference, you can see that it has cleaned that up quite a bit. It's pretty smooth. So that was just sort of a rapid fire click, 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 click all the way through. But now I have my roughly 6,000 square feet detention ditch that's in my region. So hopefully that gets you where you need to go to be able to get your detention pond or a ditch that matches roughly 10% of your property.